Hi everyone, it's Mary. Welcome back to Mary Patrice Art. Today I thought it would be a great idea to do a basic mountain landscape. I'll list everything in the description below that you're going to need for this. We are going to go ahead and get started with the sky. So I'm going to take some of my Colbalt Blue and I'm going to start with my number 8. And we're just going to drop in the sky here. It's okay if it gets into part of the mountain. That's okay. Now, as we remember, the sky is darker as you look up in the sky, and it goes lighter as it goes down to the horizon. So I'm going to put in a little bit, my number 8, I'm going to put in some of my French Ultramarine up at the top here and just drop that in. Okay. Like so. Okay. Then I'm going to take just a bit here of paper towel, crumple it up like so, and just gently, light pressure, put in some light indications of what would be some clouds here and there, like so, just fine. All right, now we're going to move on here to the mountain part, and I'm going to move in with my number 6, and I'm going to pick up Lamp Black, a very light wash. And I'm going to be underneath where my sketch is. And try and leave that, just a space of white in between where the Lamp Black light wash is and where the sketch starts. And that'll make sense later when we do the outline of it. Okay. You don't need to fill in all of this because we're also going to be adding in some details. Just the idea is with watercolor is you go from light to darker. All right, that's just fine right there. Okay, next we're going to move on with this landform here. And so with that, I'm going to move in with my burnt sienna. Still with my number 6. And again, I'm not going to touch where the top of the sketch is. We'll use that for details. And we don't have to fill in all of it because we're going to add in things later. Okay, that's okay. Now here, we're going to have some water. So just like I did with the sky, I'm going to stay with my number 6. And I'm going to put in here just some of the Colbalt Blue, just like so. And then we'll leave that to set for a little bit. And then we'll add some other details in there in just a moment. Now, here, I'm going to have some grass. I'm going to have some rock formations here. And these sketches are indications of some trees that we're going to do. So, with the grass, I'm going to go in with my Sap Green, again, staying with the number 6. And just gently, and I'm actually going to go over that sketch there, just here and there. Okay, like so. There's that. Okay, I'm happy with that. Then with this rock formation here, I'm actually going to put together a mixture of permanent rose and sap green to make almost like a chocolate brown almost. So you might have to think about the portions of it. It's more so of like 1 part permanent rose and 2 parts of the sap green. But you'll start to see when you mix colors that you mix it to how you like that variation of the color. So let's mix that. Have that there. Staying with my number 6. And then I'm just going to drop that in. Again, leave the top part of the sketch there. Doing just fine. And I might even take in some of this brown mixture that I have and put it in here. Like so. Okay. Now, the next part here that I've let this sit is with the water. I'm actually going to take, my 3/8 angular shader here. And I'm going to go into the French Ultramarine that I have. And just light pressure, have the brush on its side, horizontal with the pointed part here. And just add in some movement for the water. Doesn't need to be very defined. It's just an indication. Okay. If you were to want that a little bit darker, you could probably add a touch of the light wash that you have, the lamp black, to that French Ultramarine. But again, that's just an option. Okay, so we're going to move on here. I see I kind of need a little bit more of a defined part here to the land. So with that, I'm going to go in with my number 2. And I'm going to add a medium wash of Viridian Hue just to the edge part here to kind of define that that's where the grass is. And then add a little bit more water to that color of Viridian Hue. It's a very beautiful color. Okay, I'm happy with that. So the next thing we need to do is we're going to outline this part of our mountain. Okay, so with my number 2, okay, I'm going to go in with a medium wash of my lamp black. And just like you read and write from left to right, I find it's very streamlined when it comes to painting. So I'm going to start here on the left. And I'm just going to outline. I'm about hold it maybe about 10 to 15 degrees. Almost like you're holding a pencil. Okay. And then I'm just going to outline my mountain. Like so. Okay. Then, again, with that medium wash that I have, I'm going to go underneath where I stopped here and start to make some indications of texture with my mountain. It almost looks like you would start out as if you're making chicken feet. That's how I think about it. That's a great way to start. And then make it rigid. And that's the cool thing about mountains is they just have this beautiful texture. And sometimes you see all these different colors of mountains. You might see purple and brown and red and burnt sienna, and it's just the beautiful part of nature. All right, I think that looks great. However, I'd like to add a little bit more over here, like so. Okay, now we're going to move on here. And so with that, I'm going to stay with my number 2, and I'm going to dip into a medium wash of my VanDyke Brown. And this is where I can also add texture here with that, like so. Pull that down a little bit by the water. So there might be some kind of reflection going on. Okay, I like that. That looks great. Okay, now I'm going to take into consideration that I like this area here with the Viridian Hue. There might be some grass. Doesn't need to be exact. Just that there's some things here and there. That looks great. Very happy with that. Okay. All right. Looking good. All right, now I'm going to move down here to this rock. And so I'm going to add more, again, of my chocolate brown. Okay, I might have to go in with my VanDyke Brown. Change my mind. And that is okay if you do change your mind. That is just fine. Right, I'm happy with that. Now, in regards to right here where the trees are, okay, we're going to take some of our VanDyke Brown with our number 2. Okay, and so this is the number 2 brush that I'm using. And so you're gonna hold it just straight up horizontal. And this is a little bit different because of, in essence of, reading from left to right. Because this is on the right, it's more comfortable. You'll see that it's easier to put the trees in this way. So I'm actually gonna start just on the right side. This is the only time I would change this up. They don't have to be the same size. Okay, I'm not happy with that. And I'm going to leave that there so I can get these here too. So with the number 2, VanDyke Brown, horizontal. And this VanDyke Brown is a medium wash. Okay. I might add another there. And that's okay to change your mind. That's just fine. Now, so what I would do from here is I'm going to take with the tree, my 3/8 angular shader. And I am going to go straight in with the Viridian Hue. This is a heavy wash. Okay. Okay. Now, I'm going to have my angular shader with the most angled point on the top and the lower tip on the bottom, the lower angle. So, you're going to take this, holding it horizontal, and kind of put it going this way. Almost like you're going to go straight down with that top part. And just like I started up here, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to about 3 times go 1, 2, 3, then go 1, 2, 3, 4 on each side. When I get to the near the bottom, I'll tap 5 times, but you could easily just go 1, 2, 3, and then 4 taps on each side, and that helps to give you like a strategy, a tempo, an understanding of how to do these more efficiently. And so it's easier to remember when you're doing pine trees in the future. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. And this is where I would do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just like so. Okay, now I'm going to move on to the next pine tree. Okay, I went ahead and I finished all the trees here, and I added a little bit more of an outline to the mountains here, added more detail, and then I went ahead and added more of the VanDyke Brown in here to show you an indication that because this rock form, it's closer to us, you might see more of a detail. So I've got my handy dandy, this is just a standard Blick round painting knife. And I'm going to start on the edge here. And something else that would be good is that if you have a paper towel on hand, if it's too wet on the rock form, you might have to wipe part of that off with the paper towel. So I'm going to start here on the top part of where my rock is. And the cool thing about this is that I'm just going to make some indications of some texture because that rock form is closest to. All right. Now I'm just doing the side, not using the full part of it. All right. Then clean this up here. Okay. Well, there you have it. That is our basic mountain landscape. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe for more videos. Thank you for tuning in to Mary Patrice Art. Thank you for your time. Take care.